Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan.
Drip. Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. But today, we're back on track with Baldur's Gate 3, which obviously it's going to be interesting to see how the day 2 goes. Because here's the thing. With all the hype behind this game and everyone asking me to play it for 4 months, and then finally on Monday I got around to it, we had record views. Like, I actually looked at my statistics for this year, and I think overall, I had more viewers at one time on Monday than any stream I did all year. But at the same time, I had more viewers overall on other streams. Like, for example, the day when we had the situation with the Comcast internet, when the person who was working for Comcast was a troll and he kept turning my internet off during the stream. On that day, we actually had more overall views. But as for hype for day 1 of any video game, yeah, Monday was the biggest day of the year. We had at one point 1,400 plus viewers, right? We had a ton of engagement. I think it was like over 400 likes on that stream. Obviously, a ridiculous amount of support. You know, everything. Gifted memberships, super chats, tips, everything was wild. And obviously, I'm very appreciative for that. Thank you so very much, obviously, for a very great start. Now, the true test of any game is not its premiere stream. It is how it has longevity. Yes, there was the gimmick of wanting to see me play Baldur's Gate 3 for the very first time. But that was just a stream of me creating my character and essentially getting into the intro of the game. I mean, we didn't even really do a real fight. I got into one real fight, and then the game essentially not only killed me after the fight, but then crashed and I had to restart everything. And now we got to do the whole fight over, right? So, really, as of today, this will be the first stream where I'm actually getting into the real game. And this will be an interesting test for a couple of reasons. Number one, once I have a full party, a real party, and I'm using them in combat and various things in the game, will I like it, right? Right now, I can tell you, my initial impressions are, the combat is incredibly similar to Divinity Original Sin 2. It feels almost the same. Yeah, there's a few other things in there that make it variably different, but it doesn't feel like a totally new game. It feels like that same exact formula, just with an IP attached to it in Dungeons & Dragons. So, we'll see. Will the game differentiate itself enough to really feel like it's a standout for me? Or is this really just going to feel like, okay, I'm playing Divinity 2 with a skin and some variations? I'll tell you this, though. I like the graphics. I like the cutscenes. You know what I mean? Like, that's all good stuff. It's high production value. Much higher production value than Divinity was. That's a good thing. But, you know, am I going to learn enough about the game to really enjoy it and be able to coast with it? Will people help me to understand the game, which I'm probably going to need, right? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, the other test, very simply, is will people actually show up, engage, and support this game past its premiere? Because the gimmick of seeing me play Game of the Year after resisting playing it for 4 months is over already. We already saw me play it for 3 hours. Those initial videos are out, and people have seen them if they wanted to see them. For 2 days, they've been live. And now, will people come back? That is the true question. Because here's the thing. That's kind of what happens with certain games. And in particular with a game like this, being that it's a lengthy, drawn-out, slow-paced, turn-based RPG. I know for a fact that typically these kind of games do not resonate with my audience, and that's a shame because I love them. Like, I love turn-based RPGs. I've played so many of them over the years. I grew up playing them in the 1990s. I absolutely had so much fun with RPGs in my lifetime. They're definitely one of my favorite genres. But every time that I play an RPG, I always see declined viewership, declined engagement, and declined support, and people saying, oh, it's just not interesting. It is definitely a disconnect between myself and my core audience where not everyone likes RPGs. Luckily, that's not the entire audience. There is a group of my viewers that do like RPGs just like me. It's just a smaller group. So traditionally, playing a game like this, you know what I'm saying? It's a question of, will people actually show up, or will they just say, hey, I love the game, tuned into your premiere stream, and now all of a sudden, dramatic drop-off, right? Do you really think we're going to get 1,400 viewers today? Already, take a look at today's podcast. Right now, we're at 400 viewers. We had over 1,000 for Monday. Why? I was just talking about topics and things that had nothing to do with Baldur's Gate. But people were so hyped for Baldur's Gate, we had over 1,000 viewers that day, right? So I'm very curious to see. Now, here's the thing again. I'm not asking for that. I'm not demanding anything. I don't have quotas. I don't have a checklist. We must have this. We must have this. We must have this. I'm not doing that. I judge game playthroughs based on a certain criteria. Number one, am I enjoying the game? Or at least am I in a situation where I feel like I'm making progress towards understanding and learning it better, that I will eventually enjoy it? Okay, that's number one. Number two, is the audience enjoying the game? Are they watching and enjoying my experience with it? Either you're actually having fun watching me enjoy it myself, or maybe you're actually laughing at me, raging at it, and sucking at it. Because I feel like those can equally be entertaining experiences. But overall, I want the audience to be engaged. And that is a good judgment of how much the audience is enjoying the game. If I'm playing a video game and everyone in the chat is talking about the game and talking about my experience with it, and when I get to a part that I don't understand, they help me. Here's how this works and this and that. That's awesome. That's signs of engagement, positivity, and enjoyment, right? If I'm playing a game and I look at the chat and literally the entire chat has ventured off in another direction and they're talking about other unrelated topics that have nothing to do with me or anything that's going on the stream, what's the point of even being there? You might as well just have your own chat room somewhere else having the same conversations, right? That's a judgment of the success of the game, all right? And then, of course, yes, matter-of-factly, this is both my hobby and my job. This is a business that I own. Support is a key factor. If I'm playing a game and it's getting little to no support at all, that's a factor in judging whether or not, people are liking it and how long I'm going to continue with it. However, since I'm a variety streamer, and this is a key factor that makes me different from a lot of other people, I juggle a lot of variations. I juggle a lot of genres of gaming. And because of that, I have the ability to play games that maybe traditionally will bring in more engagement and support. And as long as those streams do good, it doesn't matter if another stream is slow. So a perfect example of this, right? Yesterday, I played Like a Dragon Gaiden. This is a game that I absolutely love. I call it my late night chill stream. Why? Because this game has so much side content in it and a lot of open world roaming and combat that I can interact with my audience a ton. We can have fun conversations. We can relax. It's not a serious playthrough where it's always narrative-based progress. I absolutely love the Like a Dragon games. They're very relaxing for me. They basically break up all my other content. All right? However, that being said, it doesn't really get much support. Just being honest, it doesn't. It's a very slow stream in that regard. But because my other streams do well, they balance everything out, and they allow me then to enjoy a game like that. You see what I'm saying? So there's all these factors that come into play. I'm very curious to see how Baldur's Gate 3 will do. All right? I'm not saying that this game is on the chopping block. It's not. Some people are like that. Oh my God, so are you saying that today, if you don't have the same performance you had on Monday, that you're going to drop the game? No, I never said that at all. People are just dramatic and say dumb shit because they make stuff up to try to be dramatic when that's not the case. All right? What I want is I would like this game to fall into my schedule as a regular game that's enjoyable, fun, and has a regular audience. I'm nervous about that. Why? Because I played Divinity Original Sin 2, and it's a very similar situation to this, where people had asked me to try Divinity for like a year, all right? And after listening to everyone's demands, because that's exactly what it was, everyone was demanding, play this game, play this game, play this game. All right, fine, we'll play the game. I played it, and at first, there was interest, and then after like a week, the interest waned, but I kept playing it, and then after like 2 weeks, people started asking me, wow, this game really isn't, your cup of tea. It's not very entertaining to watch you play. Are you going to keep going? Yes, I am. I kept going. I played that game for 60 hours. The entire final 20 hours of my playthrough, I actually was playing it against most people's recommendations. There were people actually asking me not to play it anymore because they were bored with it. But I said, no, I want to tough it out and keep going. And then when I hit 60 hours, people were like, so just so you know, you're halfway in. You still got another 60 hours to go. And I was like, well, my attendance is terrible. No one is paying any attention to the game anymore. I guess it's time to quit. And we did. And that was a shame. That was like 60 hours. You feel like it's a waste. At least I got the experience of knowing what that franchise was and knowing that it just doesn't work for my style of content creation because I'm a variety streamer. I'm not going to sit here and play the same game 5 days in a row and play 20 hours of it. I only play it on and off, maybe every other day, You know, in a given week, maybe you play like 5 to 10 hours of game, which is good, but it's just not enough to retain that level of engagement and interest for a game that's that immersive and needs that much attention. So I knew it wasn't working. I knew it wasn't going to work, and I ended up never playing it again, you know? So already seeing how Divinity has happened, right? How that worked. I am very skeptical about Baldur's Gate 2. But again, I want you to understand that I'm not, I'm absolutely not going to be judging this game unfairly. I'm going to approach it with a positive attitude, just like I did that first stream. I just want to see how it does. I want to see if it's good. So far, it's all right. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it. I like certain things about it. All right, we'll see as I continue on. I feel like the learning curve for me is learning all the nuances, right? You have, if you want to light something on fire, you have to target the floor. If you want to do this, you got to do it this way and that way. This is how this works. This is how this stat works. This is, you know what I mean? It's going to take a while. It's a lot of learning to figure that stuff out because it is a different style of game that I'm just not used to. Once I get used to those things, maybe it'll be more smooth and more interesting and feel more organic. Right now, I absolutely feel like I'm just completely absorbed. Just to give you some perspective here, all right? Since Monday's stream of Baldur's Gate 3, there's been dozens of people who've left comments on the videos adding information in about the game, the combat, the lore. I've had multiple people sending me DMs, emails, everything about this game. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I played 3 hours. The intro. I'm in the intro, right? You're bombarding me with, like, decades of knowledge about D&D and stuff, and I get it. People are excited. I like that. That is the essence of engagement, is that people are excited to see me, for the first time ever, jump into this universe, okay? I like that people are that excited for it. But at the same time, man, that's like it's information overload. And I hope people understand that no, just because you sent me a bunch of stuff or you made a post and a comment on my video, I'm not going to absorb all of that immediately. It's going to be a slow process of learning the game over the course of several streams with you guys interacting and engaging with me during said streams, while I also maintain everything else around here. Like I said, I'm not just playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm also still playing RoboCop. I'm still playing Like a Dragon Gaiden. I'm still playing fighting games. I'm still playing Modern Warfare 3. I still have a React show to do. I still have holiday stuff that I'm working on and planning. I still got my life behind the scenes. My life is not Baldur's Gate 3 right now. But for a lot of people, it seems like that's exactly how this is. When you're playing Baldur's Gate 3, that's life for you for like a month. No, not for me. I got everything else going on too. I'm happy to jump into it and explore it and enjoy it at the pace of playing it on the stream, if you understand. All right? Just like yesterday, you know, when I addressed the elephant in the room, that people were yelling at me that I didn't change my entire schedule to just keep playing Baldur's Gate 3 because the first stream did so well. And I was like, that's not how you maintain a successful business or following on the internet. Just because something is popular today doesn't mean it's going to be popular tomorrow. Eventually the gimmick's going to wear out. You don't disappoint everyone else who you've been, you know, working with for how many years? 15? Just to drop everything at a moment's notice because one game is being popular for now. Like, that's ridiculous. I'd piss off so many people if I did that. I am a variety creator. But a lot of people don't get that. Well, you're playing the popular game. Every other content creator would just drop everything and just play the popular game nonstop. Well, that's because that's them and I'm me, and I'm very different from them. How people haven't figured that out in 15 years, I don't know. I really don't understand that. But anyway, I'm excited. Let's see how today goes. Certainly, like I said, I don't believe today is going to be anywhere near as crazy hype as Monday was. But if we can have a solid stream of people hanging out, enjoying, engaging, trying to help me with the game to understand it, you know, and it's just a good stream overall, then I don't mind having this part of my rotation for the long term. I am planning on that. Like, just so you guys know, that's essentially what I'm kind of planning on. I want to have this be a part of my streams for the next month or so, until big new releases start coming out in January. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, when January hits, if we need to play this less or put this on the back burner so that I can play new games, that's fine. And then we can always come back to it. It is a lengthy RPG. It's not going anywhere, right? I'm excited to see where my journey will lead in the next month, and that hopefully you guys will join me for that journey. And you know, maybe the way I see it, there's 3 outcomes. Outcome number 1, sadly, this just becomes another Divinity 2, where we play it for a while and it ends up being not my cup of tea, not your cup of tea, and everyone says stop playing it, and I do, and then it's kind of a failed experiment. I would hope that's not the case. Okay. Number 2, it could be the complete polar opposite. I end up being a fan of this style of game, and you guys love the playthrough so much that this now maybe changes all of my content, and this becomes something that I would want to adopt and play. For example, games like the Persona franchise, games like the Yakuza or like a Dragon franchise. Those are games I never even knew existed. You guys convinced me to try them. At first, I was hesitant. When I finally tried them, I was like, oh my god. They turned out really well and have now become a staple part of my content all the time. And I'm very happy whenever a new one of those games come out. Maybe that'll happen, right? Or maybe we'll land somewhere in the middle where the game's good, but it's not my favorite, but at the same time it's good. It's something great that you guys enjoy. Maybe every once in a while, you know, it'll be good. You know, I that's what I see. Like, I think that it'll be land somewhere in the middle. All right. If it does, I'd be happy. Okay. I don't have these crazy aspirations that this will be my biggest playthrough of all time and people will absolutely be in love with this playthrough every moment. At the same time, I'm not going into it negatively with the intention that, oh, I can't wait to just stop playing it. That's ridiculous. You know, every game I play, I hope for the best. I want it to be something good. I want it to be something fun, engaging, and entertaining for all of us, right? So, and by the way, I don't get it. I'm trying to be as reasonable and matter of fact with people, and there's people complaining in the chat, so just leave. Seriously. If you just want to, just leave. If you have an issue with the way that I do streams, with the way that I make content, why are you here? Do you think that I'm going to just completely change my business for you because you want to see Baldur's Gate 3 constantly? Do you think, hold on, should I pull down Larian's pants and start kissing their butt cheeks and say it's the best game ever made because I played 3 hours of it? Like, what are you expecting exactly? Seriously. I just don't get it. I don't get, you can't please people. Last night, I'm playing Like a Dragon Gaiden. Okay? Now, you guys have seen my first stream of Baldur's Gate 3, correct? You've seen the first 3 hours. You've seen everything that happened during it. I thought it was a pretty good stream. I thought it was funny. That ending was hilarious, right? The comedy of errors, the game crashing. It was really funny. Someone tipped me $5. And then during the tip, here's what they said. I'm not kidding you. Just listen to this. All right? I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm going to paraphrase. So I just want to let you know, I'm a new viewer that came by to watch your Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. Well, I feel like you're treating the game unfairly because you're treating it very differently and to a higher standard than all of the games that you play. Therefore, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate your first stream, so here's a $5 tip, but you've lost a viewer. Goodbye. Anywhere in my first stream did I judge the game unfairly? Did I ever say, wow, this game's unfair, this game sucks, this game is terrible, this, you know, what is he talking about? Or she, I don't know, it was an anonymous tip. What the hell are they talking about? But you understand, like, seriously, just because I didn't decide to drop everything to play Baldur's Gate 3 nonstop, I guess that pisses people off. So because I operate a business, a successful business of variety, and I decided to add Baldur's Gate 3 into that schedule per your big requests. I've listened to them for 4 months and finally said now's the time it fits in. And I played a 3-hour stream, and I didn't immediately decide to clear my entire business schedule to accommodate this game to be played nonstop. I'm being unfair to the game. No, what I think it is that there's just too many people who are so obsessed with this game that they just don't understand that other people aren't like them. I don't obsess over every game I play, right? I get it. It's an immersive RPG. You want to be absorbed into the world and the lore and the gameplay mechanics. And maybe for you, that's what you do when you play a game. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm not even going to say that I've never done that before. I absolutely have. But that was before I was a streamer. That was before I was a creator. That was before I was making variety of stuff. You know, I'm not going to become someone who's a one-minded gamer. I'm not the Baldur's Gate 3 streamer now for 3 weeks. So I have no idea where people come from with these kind of judgments and things that they say. You know, it seems like for some people, it doesn't matter at all how I act, what I play, what I do, okay? No matter what I do, people are going to be upset. It's never good enough, right? So all I can say is I'm going to cover the game how I like, how I'm comfortable. And if you're not comfortable with that, fair enough. Thanks for trying it. Move on. Please don't linger. If you're going to be here just to be negative and crap on stuff and say, Phil's playthrough sucks, Phil sucks, this and that, we don't need you here, you know? This is a different kind of stream community. It really is. It's always been that way. People don't seem to get that DSP Gaming is not every other YouTube channel, every other Twitch channel, every other streamer. The things that happen around here are quite different from what you're probably used to from other channels, right? Just take a quick look. Can you tell me another channel looks like this? Right? Minimalist. On purpose. Minimalist. Because I don't want intrusive stuff, because I want things to be so different. You know? I want people to enjoy. Sit back, relax, have a good time, but not have to be inundated with a bunch of crap. Right? That's one of the big things that's different. And I hope you understand that. Like, if I was all about the money, which is hilariously what all my haters say, wouldn't I have immediately just played Baldur's Gate 3 all week after that first stream? I would have been doing it nonstop, because I wouldn't care about my actual longtime fans who want to see other games. Instead, I would have just been playing this all week trying to make a buck. And I'm not about that at all, okay? So, no, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to be hyper-focused on just one game. That's not what it's about. I want to get into this game. I want to enjoy the lore. I want to start to understand the game mechanics, and I will. In time, as we play it, you know what I'm saying? The longer we get into it. And the thing is, if you look at my schedule, which we're just going to talk about, I'm playing it today, I'm playing it Friday, I'm playing it Monday, I'm playing it Wednesday, I'm playing it 4 times the next week. So we're going to have another additional, 12 or more hours of this game within a week's time. That's a lot of gameplay coming up, right? We'll be very immersed in it by then, I feel. And that's great. So please just be patient, right? And please understand, I am not whoever it is that you think you're holding me up to as some kind of a standard. If I was like them, I would be out of business. I want to repeat that. If I was like everyone else on the internet, I would be out of business. The reason that I'm still here 15 years later is because I'm different. People come and watch my content because I am different than everyone else. I didn't follow the trends. I didn't follow the viral ways to be popular. I didn't get that bag every moment that I could. I walked my own path. And I'm still here 15 years later. Please respect that. If you don't, then just don't stick around. Because I'm not going to sit here and give in to people who are very demanding and saying ridiculous things. You're treating the game unfairly. I've played it for 3 hours. We haven't even beaten the intro yet. I haven't said a negative word about it. How am I treating the game unfairly? You sound like an asshole. What the hell are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to open my window now because it's getting very stuffy in here. I had to close it because there were landscapers going by. They're probably going to come back, but I do need some fresh air, so bear with me for a second.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. Can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.